There's so many like variables in life that we have no control over that I think it's really important to take a step back and appreciate what we have and also realize that we're doing a lot and that we can be proud of that, right? We don't choose to be born, first of all, right? We don't choose our lineage. We don't choose our parents or our family or extended family for that matter, right? We also don't choose the environment that we're born in or that we're raised in and that we move through. I think there are so many factors that make life harder for us without any kind of influence from our side that it's really important to like, take a step back and be proud of what you've achieved and how far you've come. If you grow up in the middle of nowhere, maybe just a few hundred people, I've been there. I've been in like a little tiny village, like literally a village that only had one road, and like 50 people lived there. And I've only been there for a few years, but if I had grown up there, like there's not a lot of opportunity, right? So if you grow up in that kind of environment, and who knows, maybe your dream is to do anything with technology, maybe go into engineering, maybe go into the sciences, but your parents or maybe your dad already decided, well, you're going to pick up the farm once you're old enough. His dad is going to retire and you'll take care of the farm. Right? Your life has already been decided before you even had a chance to try anything on your own, right? And while you're growing up, while you're going through school, if there is a school, hopefully there is, every time that you utter, right, any kind of difference, it's like, man, I would love to do this. Man, I'm really interested in that, right? You'll get shut down. No, 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 no. Throw that away. You're going to be a farmer like your dad, right? You're going to pick up the family business. You're going to keep running this. My dad gave it to me, and his dad gave it to him, and so on and so forth, right? Tradition is important, and if you like doing that kind of stuff, more power to you, right? But maybe that's actually not what you wanted. So you're trapped, right? That builds resentment very early on, right? Before you even had time to figure out what you want to do, you're already like fighting a battle you never chose to fight to begin with. How do you get out of that, right? Do you go against family and annihilate that part of your life, or do you stick with it? Who knows? Maybe you'll learn to love it, but maybe you also just resent doing it and you hate it every day, and it like slowly but surely ruins your life, and right, die of a heart attack at 45. So there's so many things out of our control, and so many things where like the dice rolled wrong, right? Where if we're fighting every day, right, you're keeping at it, you're doing the best that you can, right? That deserves some kindness, that deserves love, that deserves appreciation from you. And you got to do that for yourself. And if you grow up like in a low income area, and I've been there as well, right, and you're just surrounded by drugs and violence and not much else, no dad in the family, your mom basically just getting by, and that's all the energy she has to basically maintain her sanity to some extent, and there's no energy left for you. There's no energy left to give you love or show you stability or a future. And that builds resentment. That is anger bubbling under the surface constantly. And so what do you do? Right? If you're surrounded just by bad influences, terrible things, violence and drugs, gambling, you're most likely going to be there as well, right? And who would fault you for it? But if you're struggling through all of that, right, and you're just getting by somehow, that deserves kindness, that deserves love, that deserves respect, right? And if you're one of those people that didn't get into drugs or violence, right, somebody that didn't end up in prison really, really young, somebody that didn't just fight their way, like physically fight their way through life, but instead you, I don't know, took that entry level job at McDonald's, and I've done that as well. That's still great, right? It feels like, man, there's no way out, right? It's just bad luck stacks on top of bad luck. It compounds. Unfortune doesn't mean that, like, oh man, I've suffered for 5 years. Now I get to win the lottery, right? Be great if it worked like that. It does not. It just keeps going, right? Bad luck invites bad luck, which in turn results in more bad luck. It's a feedback loop, not a kind one. So if you are in a position where you quote unquote escaped all the negative, all the violence, physical and mental, and you are just working a entry level job, be proud of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Right? That deserves kindness, love, and appreciation. Because you are not part of a system that is slowly but surely destroying itself, right? You're trying to do something else. You're trying to do it the right way. And you might still end up in those things. And then it's just a part of your environment. You know, you can only fight it for so long before it overtakes you. So, like, just be kind to yourself. There's so many things that we have no control over, right? We all suffer one way or the other. And especially in the modern times, there's so much going on, right? Like, it's not like 20, 30 years ago. Like, I remember growing up as a kid, I'm a 90s child, that when I was coming up, I was super into technology. I mean, I still am, but like we were one of the first people that had internet, like real internet. And like social media when I was a teenager was basically in its infancy. And it's just kind of a joke. It's like I was barely 18 when kind of Facebook was really getting started, right? But all these social media platforms now kind of broadened our scope of life. Before you might have just been, let's say, directly connected to your family and like a few friends and let's say the local population. But now you're connected to everybody. And funnily enough, somehow that isolated us more instead of connecting us further. And so now you can go on Instagram or Twitter, or Facebook, or whatever, and instantly see like hundreds and thousands of people just waiting for you to swipe by to be a little more upset and a little more annoyed that they have things that you don't. Right? And it's all stuff on the surface. It doesn't matter, right? But it builds more anger and resentment for the things we didn't have and for our upbringing that might have been really upsetting, right? It's like if you grew up in a bad environment with not a lot to your name or your family's name, and you see some annoying teenager celebrating his 10th $1 million car, that's got to sting, right? It's like, man, why did he win the genetic lottery or why did he win the life lottery and I didn't? Right? But there's just a different kind of suffering underneath all that. Nobody gets out of that. So remember, just going through life, no matter what life you were given, that deserves love and kindness and appreciation. So if you made it this far already, no matter how old or young you are, love yourself, appreciate yourself, be kind to yourself. Take care.